back, so it's going to be very difficult for me to paraphrase that. Yeah? Tell me if I get this wrong. The question was about the mood and the kind of, I guess, if I'm paraphrasing badly, the kind of lack of emotion that is sometimes shown, the lack of outward emotion that is sometimes shown, although there is emotion in the film shown as well.
Yeah, I would say that's very, very deliberate, and we would have, I would say that our approach in the film is quite theatrical and staged, so we try to stage moments while, on the one hand, I would say the content terrain of the film is very real, that the way we play it out is quite unreal. So, for example, the cops aren't really cops, and the way that the actual scenes are staged doesn't really have any similarity to reality. They're very staged, and that's very deliberate. Because we work with long extended takes, that kind of choreography within the scene, and we want to create something that on the one hand is real but very unreal. So yeah, in answer to your question, it is very deliberate, that approach.
Sorry, just very quickly, did you film it in that wonderful part in the autumn on purpose, you know, to get those fantastic leaves and colours?
Well, yeah, no, we certainly did, and just hoped that on the day that the weather would be on our side. But the mood of it's not just the park, but also the woods in the autumn, an overcast grey day has a very particular atmosphere, and you're just kind of hoping that the chips fall for you, and that you kind of you know, particularly in the UK where the weather's so unpredictable, that you get the breaks. As it happens, the day we filmed in the park that morning, it was a complete washout. There was, you know, torrential rain, wind. It was terrible. Half our cast left because they didn't think that the shoot was going to go ahead. And yeah, the sun came out at the end, so you've got that nice kind of contrast between kind of threatening atmosphere and a bit of sun. So yeah, there's a bit of luck involved.
So it wasn't like Antonioni with Blow Up, where you had the budget to paint the leaves if they weren't to your...
It certainly wasn't, no.
Okay, any more questions from the audience? Yep, there's somebody over on the end there.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, it has a number of kind of odd qualities to it. I would say that the exception to what you're saying, and what I would see as a pivotal moment in the film, is when the mother hugs her when they meet for the first time. And in a way, we would see that as the mother hugging the leather jacket, not necessarily her, and yet she sees that as a moment when she benefits from the desire of the mother to hug the jacket that she's wearing, and therefore she experiences what that is like. And for us, that's a turning point in the film for the character Helen, that having experienced that, she then realises that it taps into some really deep need in her to want more, to understand more about what it means to be really wanted and to be really loved and to be really valued. and it's not something that she, in her experience, has had. So she makes some kind of a mental decision to go after that, but she's exploring it with the. She probably wouldn't be able to do it unless she was in character, pretending to be Joy, and she explores that in a more kind of forensic way at a distance, because that is her approach to it, and in that way, that's the way the film unfolds. And we wanted, I have to say, a scene where Helen and the boyfriend kissed, but Annie wasn't having any of it, and I suppose that's the risk that you take if you're working with people that aren't professional actors. There was absolutely no way would she go there. So you constantly make kind of adjustments in terms of where it's going, depending on where your performers want to take it. So we might have had that moment, but Annie didn't want to go there.
Adolescence, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, there are some more questions. If we come to this side, and the gentleman who was very quick with his hand sitting on the end. Yeah.
Yeah, not so much a question, more comments about the kind of emotional flatness of the film. That was always very appropriate, really. Young people who do not know who their parents are, do not understand or know where they belong, because they don't know their history. And if you don't know where you belong, then the world to you does seem flat. So I thought, in actual fact, that kind of mood that pervaded the whole film was very, very appropriate, given the storyline of the young woman's circumstances.
Sorry, what was that comment?
I was just saying, it's very hard for that person to accept emotion, I think, from Helen's point of view. So she probably wants it quite a lot, but she doesn't know how to actually deal with it, it's only part of her life. So she wouldn't be very emotional or very engaging with any of those activities.
We would certainly see her as a character that had a lot of guards up, and on the other hand, we would see the idea of Joy going missing or being lost in the woods as an opportunity to send Helen into the woods as well, a space where you can get lost, also a transformative space. So by going into the woods in the disguise of Joy, she can allow herself to be lost and to be transformed. So I suppose, love is a transformative thing, and that's kind of where she wants to be in the end. She wants she wants a very simple question to be, or this is how we would see it. She wants a simple question to be asked: was she ever loved, or was she not loved? And is there any proof that she was? But if you have been in care and then you suddenly have access to your case file, you might also, besides the kind of your burning curiosity to know where you loved, you might also have an overwhelming fear of what the answer might be. So it's the fear that keeps her from engaging with her case file, and it's her experience of being Joy that allows her to arrive at a point where she can open up the file and find out, and she gets her answers. And we would see that that's the point in the film where she can move on, hopefully in a positive way.
Do you find it interesting the way that audiences react to the film in a different way? It does kind of withdraw different reactions, and it encourages that in a way, doesn't it? It's a very kind of open film in that you expect people to have a reaction to it that might not necessarily mirror your own.
Yeah, I think it's a challenging film, and we kind of know that it's maybe formally, not the easiest film, but what we would hope is that it's open enough for people. What we would hope is that we've in some way created a space where it's open enough for people to come in.
Have a dialogue.
Yeah.
Okay, there were more questions, so I'll shut up. And what this gentleman on the end, and then we'll come into the middle and work towards the back. Okay, so